This is the moment that makes it all worth it. This isn't the sad, dried up, often imported garlic you find at the grocery store. This is homegrown power. It's potent, it's flavorful, and it's so much easier to grow than you've been led to believe. Here's a question for you. What's the difference between this and this? They were planted in the same garden, in the same soil, at the same time. The difference? The person who planted this one followed the 5 critical steps. The person who planted this one, well, they just winged it. Hey there, garden friends. Welcome back to the channel, where we're all about growing smarter, not harder. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most rewarding and fundamental fall projects in any garden: planting garlic. Everybody thinks planting garlic is simple. Just stick a clove in the ground and wait. Right? Wrong. That's how you end up with mediocre garlic. If you want huge gourmet bulbs with explosive flavor that will last you all year, you need to be strategic. You need to follow the process. Over the years, I've seen every mistake in the book, and I've made most of them myself. And I've boiled down everything I've learned into 5 non-negotiable steps. These are the steps that take you from a novice gardener to a garlic-growing pro. We're going to cover everything from choosing the right seed to the one final step most people skip that makes all the difference. So grab a notebook, because class is in session. If you're ready to stop guessing and start growing the best garlic of your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because I'll be posting updates on this very garlic patch next spring, and you won't want to miss it. All right, let's get to it. The path to a monster harvest starts long before you ever dig a hole. It starts with a choice. Step 1. Source your garlic like a pro. This is, without a doubt, the most important decision you will make. The quality of the garlic you plant directly determines the quality of the garlic you harvest. A big clove grows a big bulb. A small clove grows a small bulb. It's that simple. But it goes deeper than that. Your first instinct might be to just grab a head of garlic from the grocery store and plant the cloves. Please do not do this. Here's why. Most commercial garlic grown for supermarkets is treated with a sprout inhibitor. They spray it with a chemical to prevent it from sprouting on the shelf or in your pantry. You are literally trying to plant something that has been chemically engineered not to grow. You might get a few to sprout, but your germination rate will be terrible, and the plants will be weak. Beyond that, most grocery store garlic is a soft-neck variety chosen for its long shelf life, not its flavor or size. And you have no idea what diseases it might be carrying. You could be introducing something nasty into your precious garden soil that will cause problems for years. So, what's the answer? You need to source what's called seed garlic. Seed garlic is garlic that has been specifically grown and selected for planting. It's certified disease-free. It hasn't been treated with sprout inhibitors. And you get to choose from hundreds of incredible varieties you will never see in a store. This brings us to the first big choice. Hardneck or softneck? This right here is a softneck variety. See how the stem is soft and braidable? This is the kind you usually find in stores. They generally have more smaller cloves in a less organized pattern. They store for a very long time, sometimes up to a year. And they grow best in milder climates. And this is a hardneck. Notice the hard, woody stem running right through the center. This is the magic stuff. Hardneck varieties produce fewer, but much larger cloves that are arranged in a neat single layer around that central stem. They are way easier to peel, but most importantly, their flavor is generally more complex, more robust, and more fiery. They are true gourmet garlic. Hardnecks also produce an incredible bonus crop in the spring, called a garlic scape, which is a delicious, edible flower stalk. The trade-off? They don't store quite as long as softnecks, usually about 6 to 8 months. But trust me, you'll eat it all before then. For most of us, especially if you live anywhere that gets a real winter, hardneck is the way to go. So, where do you get it? Your best bets are local farmers' markets in the late summer or fall, or ordering online from a reputable seed company. Yes, it will cost more than grocery store garlic. You might pay $15 or $20 for a pound. But here's the thing. That 1 pound can contain 50 or 60 cloves. That's 50 or 60 massive heads of garlic you'll harvest next summer. You are making an investment that will pay for itself 10 times over. Don't cheap out on your seed. Step 2. Timing is everything. Okay, you've sourced your beautiful certified seed garlic. Now, when do you plant it? This is not a suggestion. It is a rule dictated by nature. Getting the timing right is the secret to unlocking the full-size potential of your bulbs. The golden rule for planting garlic is this. Plant it in the fall, after your first light frost, but before the ground freezes solid. For most people in North America, this window falls somewhere between late September and early November. Why is this timing so critical? It all comes down to a process called vernalization. Garlic needs a period of cold, a long cold nap, to trigger it to properly form a bulb. This cold treatment, vernalization, is the signal that tells the single clove you planted, okay, it's time to divide and conquer. If you plant garlic in the spring, it completely misses this essential cold period. It will grow greens, but it will never form a large, segmented head. You'll just harvest a single, sad, round bulb that's barely bigger than the clove you planted. A total disappointment. Planting in the fall gives the garlic clove just enough time to do 2 things before the deep freeze of winter sets in. First, it allows it to sprout roots. It will establish a strong, healthy root system that will anchor it in the soil. Second, it will send up a little bit of green top growth. Don't panic when you see this. A few inches of green growth before winter is perfectly normal and a great sign. It's tough and can easily handle the cold. This established root system is the key. It means that the moment the soil starts to thaw in the very early spring, your garlic is ready to explode with growth. It gets a massive head start on anything you could plant in the spring. So, how do you know your exact time? Pay attention to your soil temperatures. Ideally, you want to plant when the soil at a 4-inch depth is consistently around 50 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius. But don't overthink it. For me, here in my zone, it's usually the 2nd or 3rd week of October. It's a ritual. The leaves are changing, the air is crisp, and it's time to plant the garlic. Find your window, mark it on your calendar, and honor it. Step 3. Prepare the perfect bed. Garlic is a heavy feeder. It has a big appetite, and it's going to be in this patch of ground for about 9 months. We need to prepare its home properly and give it all the food and comfort it needs to thrive. There are 3 non-negotiables for a garlic bed: full sun, excellent drainage, and rich, loose soil. First, full sun. Pick the sunniest spot in your garden. Garlic needs at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day, especially during the spring and early summer when it's doing most of its bulbing. A shady spot will give you skinny plants and small bulbs. Second, excellent drainage. Garlic bulbs will rot in a heartbeat if they sit in soggy, waterlogged soil. If you have heavy clay soil, you absolutely must amend it. Or better yet, grow your garlic in a raised bed where you have total control over the soil composition. If you're planting in the ground and you're not sure about your drainage, dig a hole about 8 inches deep and fill it with water. If it doesn't drain away within an hour or 2, you have a drainage problem that needs to be fixed. Third, and most importantly, rich, loose soil. The garlic bulb has to physically push the soil outwards as it grows. If the soil is hard and compacted, the bulb will be small and constricted. We want to create a soil environment that is as loose and fluffy as possible. Before planting, you need to loosen your soil to a depth of at least 8 to 12 inches. A broad fork is the best tool for this, as it loosens the soil without destroying its structure. But a sturdy garden fork will work just fine. Once it's loosened, it's time to feed it. This is your one big chance to load the bed with all the nutrients the garlic will need for the next 9 months. My magic amendment is compost. You cannot add too much. I like to add a rich 2 to 3 inch layer of well-rotted compost over the entire surface of the bed. If you have it, this is also a great time to add some bone meal for phosphorus, which promotes strong root growth, and kelp meal for trace minerals. After you've added your amendments, gently work them into the top few inches of soil with a rake. You should be left with a planting bed that is beautifully dark, crumbly, and loose. When you can easily push your entire hand down into the soil, you know it's ready. Step 4. The art of planting. All right, the bed is prepped, the timing is right, and you have your beautiful seed garlic. It's time for the main event. First, you need to crack your bulbs. This just means carefully separating the individual cloves from the head. Try to do this just before you plant, within a day or 2. Don't do it weeks in advance, as this can cause the cloves to dry out. Be gentle. You want to keep the papery wrapper on each clove as intact as possible. This little paper skin protects the clove from rot and disease. As you're cracking them, sort your cloves. The biggest, fattest cloves are your planting stock. Any small, skinny, or damaged cloves go into a bowl for the kitchen. Remember the rule: big clove, big bulb. Don't waste your prime garden real estate on small cloves. Now for spacing. Garlic needs room to grow. I plant my hard-neck cloves about 6 to 8 inches apart in every direction. This gives each plant enough space to develop a large bulb without competing with its neighbors for sunlight, water, and nutrients. Don't be tempted to crowd them. You'll get more plants, but they will all be smaller.